Hello, my name is Emma. I am the owner of the Propagation Jar, and today we are going to be doing launch day prep. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So basically what launch day is, I'm adding 2 new soils, 1 other new product, and 1 other new accessory to the shop, as well as restocking all the new plants. And we need to do that really quickly. By the time you're seeing this video, today is launch day. So go check out my website. I'll have it linked in the description. I made just enough bags for promotionals, but we need to actually make enough for the markets that I'm going to be doing right after. So, Emma's Premium Aeroid Mix is now Emma's Premium Houseplant Mix, and we now have 2 available sizes of all the dirt mixes. We have a ½ gallon and a full gallon. Then we have the Soilless Chunky Tropical Mix. This is basically just going to be really airy, but also high moisture retention for entherins, allocations, stuff like that. We have the new Tropical Wetland Mix. This is going to be for Marantas. This is going to be for ferns, calathea, stuff like that. And then the Emma's Desert Mix is staying the Emma's Desert Mix, and that's also going to be available in the half quart. Okay, so the first order of business is we're going to be making all the soils. I'm also, see, here's the kicker. I'm out of all 4 soil mixes right now. So we need to make all 4 of them in big batches. So hopefully we have enough. I just bought more orchid bark, and I think we're pretty good on everything, so shouldn't really be a problem. Hopefully. Let's just do the Aeroid Mix first, because I can do that by memory while I tell you about the new launch. So we're launching on August 1st. That's also when this video is airing. I already talked about that. It's also about a year and 3 months after my very first product launch, which is where I had my Aeroid Mix and my Desert Mix. Product launch was back in March of last year, and I had my Aeroid Mix, my Desert Mix, my Pest Prevention, and then later I added my all natural plant foods. That was fun. That was like a little mini launch. It was just the 1 product, and I did have clear pots in some part of this. I don't remember, but yeah, I think that's all the actual products that stuck that I released. All the others just either didn't work out, because I did have a full line of hydroponics. No one was really interested other than the pond, and I was barely making any money off of it, and it was just not a good product for me personally. So that's why I chose not to do it anymore. So a little bit about the Propagation Jar. I feel like I don't explain like what I actually do enough. So the Propagation Jar is designed as a business to help make plant care easier and less scary, and then also it's really fun. Like, you're getting the fun products, you're getting fun plants. You don't have to fight for like really cheap prices. I feel like everything is very fairly priced. I don't gouge anything. I basically sell it for what I would buy it for. Does that make sense? I've been in like the planty world for 6 years now. That's crazy, because I was 13 when I got my very first plant. So I've been in the planty world for going on 6 years now, and I've been in business for 2. So I feel like I can gauge prices roughly enough. And I don't have anything super rare right now, but that is the goal eventually one day, to have a bit more rare stuff, which I'm currently working on. That will be the next video. And I think the main takeaway I get from like my physical booth is I also offer my services to the community to help people with their plant care routines, and to like teach beginners how to actually keep their plants alive versus just how the internet tells you to, which isn't always great. I don't trust like 60% of the planting advice that the internet gives you, unless it's from like a grower or like someone who has hundreds of plants. I don't trust it. Especially with AI now, it's all like trending to do certain things that make just absolutely no sense, and I could never be in that position. So I love the teaching aspect of it and just making it a lot easier, and that's basically what this YouTube channel is going to be, is just teaching different aspects of it, as well as like the fun stuff like repotting or unboxing or stuff like that. Like, that's just a bit of the randomness, and making sure it's all natural, organic, high quality. It just takes the guesswork out of it. So yeah, that's what I do, and that's the business you're supporting, you know, by watching these videos. Basically just a girl running her plant shop that's learning to do everything, you know. She's just living life, she's doing her best. That's about a half batch of Aeroid. So I do have some Aeroid made already, so technically I just have to post number one point for this launch was to make everything a bit more understandable. Because obviously certain people will know what aeroid mix is, other people will not. Like my niche audience, which are the collectors that like a bit more uncommon plants and they're collectors, so to speak, they know what aeroid mix means, especially if they're philodendrons or monstera or Ethereum collectors. But most people that do stop by the booth are just beginners, and since that's the whole point of the propagation jar, is to bring in the newbies and like get to teach them and get them started, and the plant care is easy to use, it's all natural, it's the highest quality they can get while also supporting a small business. I feel like that's really important to be understandable, which is why the MS Premium Aeroid Mix is now MS Premium Houseplant Mix, just so it's a bit more understandable. I still kept the whimsy of most of the things, like my Tropical Wetland Mix. That's a very whimsy title in my opinion, but it's also like, I feel like they generally know what I'm talking about. Okay, the new mixes, I just wanted to be fun. Okay, like Soilless Chunky Tropical Mix, nobody is gonna know what that is unless they know what Soilless Chunky Medium is for aeroids. But my houseplant mix and the Soilless are different. It's, you know, like that fine balance of both for both my target audience and also the people just coming to the booth. Plus, I don't mind answering questions. I love yapping. Alrighty, I'm gonna do my fern mix in my first batch I've done. This might be where I messed up, but I am short on the key ingredient for my fern mix. So hopefully I have enough. I'll just make what I can make and that'll be okay, and just order more. This is my first time making a big batch. I'm so excited. I've only made like trial batches up until this point because I just wanted to make it all at once and bag it all at once instead of having to worry about, I don't know, like if I made a giant batch and I ended up not liking it, that would be terrible. I did test all of these before I like bought labels or anything. I'm not that irresponsible. We actually had just enough. I'm super excited. That's great because I was all nervous. All sorts of nervous. So while I'm making the fern mix, this fern mix, I designed it so it's more fluffy than airy, if that makes sense. Like it's not gonna compact, but it is still gonna be nice draining. So you're still getting the good drainage you need, but you're not risking it drying out too quickly. So it's that best of both worlds when it comes to the ferns and calatheas. How I chose to test this soil mix out is I took a struggling rabbit's foot fern. Actually, the rabbit's foot fern I used to test this on are now available in the shop. I took them from struggling cuttings to a full plant. So if you want to go get that, you're getting this in it. So that's super cool. And it went quite well. So I didn't need to switch this up at all during testing. I just basically wung it my very first day creating this mix. And then, yeah, so this one didn't take me near as long to make as my Soilless Chunky Mix because I was really worried it was going to dry out too quickly for it needing to be a medium to high moisture level. And I had absolutely no worries. I had little little tissue culture alocasia dragon scales that I had acclimated in my houseplant mix, and they were doing good. But once I potted them up in their bigger pots, I put them in the Soilless, and they're doing so well. They're still growing, still doing great. They're just getting a little bit more air, so I don't have to worry about them getting root rot as quickly. Oh wait, I also put some I put Ethereum seedlings in this mix as well. Not this mix, the Soilless Chunky Mix, to test that one out. And they did so much better in that versus moss. I cannot grow things in moss. Okay, like, I'm just a soil girly. I love being a soil girly. I would like, if that could be my online presence, I would do it in a heartbeat. Being the soil girly. Did I just like come up with a new part of branding? That'd be so much fun. The soil girly. The soil girly. I love that a lot. So either I'm being delulu or I just found out my new Instagram handle, so maybe go check that out and see if I changed it. Like, you never know. The trick to this fern mix I found, if you put a little bit of sand in with it, Just not drying out too much, but it's not compacting. Phenomenal. All of my soil mixes include horticulture charcoal and organic worm castings. Obviously in different ratios depending on what your plant needs. And those two ingredients really can be the life or death of your plant. So since we are doing two different sizes, that's also part of of launch day. So you can get smaller sizes of the soil if like you're not sure and you want to try it out. Or if you're like, oh, I only have like one plant that needs the fern mix, but I have like 18,000 plants that need the desert mix. You can just order in whatever quantity you need. I feel like this will be a big thing for the booth as well. Just give people options, because obviously the newbies get a little scared by a premium bag soil mix, and it's like a lot. Versus like they get to try out products first, like before everything. Perfect. Beautiful. See what I mean by it doesn't compact? Beautiful. Now, you may be asking, what is the difference between your houseplant mix and your soilless mix? Well, I'm happy to share that. My regular houseplant mix and my chunky soil mix do have different recipes, just to start off. They do have different levels of each ingredient. It's not like the same recipe, but I just changed out the cocoa coir for cocoa husks. It is different. This is cocoa husks. It's in more chunks with some fibers versus all like condensed fibers for the houseplant mix. So that's what makes this so chunky, but it also has that moisture retention. So I've obviously had the most time with my airway mix / houseplant mix because I've had that I made that mix for years, like way before I sold it. I've been making that mix for maybe 4 years, and I've been selling for 2.5. Wait, no, brain. I've been making it for 3 and selling it for 1.5. That's what's going on. That perlite dust in my eye. So obviously I know that mix way more than I know the brand new ones, even though I know these through and through. I worked 4 months on this oily chunky mix because I wanted to get it just right. So yes, I could have just made the same recipe just with different ingredients, but I feel like that's just cheating, you know? So I worked 4 months, you know, learning the best I could about any new ingredients that I incorporated, learning the best, you know, manufacturers to get them from, what actually makes it organic or all natural or sustainable. You know, any of the new products that go in, there's always just a really big process for that. Also, if you hear noises, that's my table, and I don't have mics, so it's probably really bad audio. This is just full raw footage. Another thing I wanted to get out of this launch was simply just, I wanted to kind of take a gamble on myself. You know, I've kept the same ingredients, you know, this entire time. I've kept the same products this entire time. I kept it safe. I took out any product that was a little risky, you know, so this is essentially doubling what my booth has to offer and, you know, putting that into the world. Hopefully I stand out a little bit more, and the business starts to get a bit more reach than what I'd want to. I haven't hit that point where it's like breakthrough, you know, even though I'm doing pretty good. So like, whatever. I can't complain. I'm very happy. I'm really, really happy. But I am ready for like that big boom, you know, every business owner waits for. I want my personal goals to be hit, and those are just really big things that I cannot wait to reach. Also, the first recipe I've ever put leca in it, and that was super fun. I used to sell leca like just on its own, but no one really wanted it. So I'm just using all that leca that I used to sell, you know, by the bag. I'm just putting it in here. And it looks so cool in the bag. Like, I feel like that's another thing. Like, these soil mixes look cool in their bags, and that's just awesome. So like the cool factor, the fun factor, it works really well. It's all natural, organic. It's a wonderful product that has thoroughly been tested by these two hands and this little brain. So yeah, I think it's awesome. I like to brag. Alrighty, all 4 soil mixes are mixed, and we are ready to rock and roll. Technically, I need to sticker new bags anyway because I did my last. Wait, okay, whoa. Brain, so what's going on? I need to set aside orders first all the old dirt, and then I need to take all the dirt that hasn't been put in orders and put that in the new labels for the market on Saturday. Yes, that's what I need to do. Oh, one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Okay. I'll have to double check the story after this video, but pretty sure she wanted 4 deserts. I only have 2 bags with the old labels. So I'll need to fill 2 old desert mix, and then she wanted 2 aeroid mixes. So we'll put those aside. And then we'll take this aeroid mix, put it in with the new the houseplant mix, which is the same exact mix, and bag it up that way. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Darn it. He went through all my bags. The small bags I have that are the half gallon, those were used for the semi-hydroponics. And these large ones were used for the soil. But now, since I'm doing both sizes in each, I have plenty. It's stormy here. I want 4 and 2. So we'll do 2 of the old desert mix labels first, and then do the new desert mixes. I might have to make more desert mix, but that's fine. So the difference between the new labels and the old labels are very simple. Since we do have the full gallon and the half gallon, I had to take the measurements off. Since I only did soil in 4 quarts / gallon last year, you know, I just put 4 quarts on it. But the new labels, they're worded slightly differently. I capitalized certain important things just so it's a little bit easier to read. You know, it's not just like word vomit. And then they're versatile, you know. Versatile. If you know, you know. Okay. Soil is a chunker mix. Let's see, I have a full bag, so I need 2 full bags and 3 small bags. Because that's just what'll fit. Yeah, this one's messed up. And I'm only going to be doing 3 each to start, just because my booth can only hold so much. And I'd like to be more of a, you know, ship on demand. Does that make sense? What is it? Made to order. There we go. Made to order. I like to be made to order a lot more than I like to be like mass producing, so to speak, before it's bought. I only do that for markets, and I only keep what the booth will hold. I don't just do, you know, anything and everything in large quantities. Like stuff like my bestsellers, I do keep a little extra of, just because like the pest prevention spray sells really quickly. So if I have, and that holds a little bit longer than the soil does. Like the soil is fine. It could probably last a year in this bag, but it just doesn't look quite as fresh. So I like to have the freshest looking batches for sale there first. Because once again, the booth is just kind of a random mix of everybody, which I love. So I get collectors, I get sellers themselves, and I get newbies that are just looking to start, and that's totally okay. Because I do love the teaching aspect of it. It really is my favorite part of the booth. Getting to, you know, learn more about like their environment and being like, oh, okay, you just need, you know, something that can handle harsher rays of sun or not so harsh rays of sun versus something that, you know, because like your house conditions are so different for everyone. Some people have absolutely wonderful lighting, other people have terrible lighting, and they need something, you know, a bit more forgiving, because I feel like beginner friendly plants just mean they're forgiving, you know, like they can handle not perfect environments or expectations, and they do just fine. Yeah, I'm gonna do this just because it's gonna take forever, and then we'll be right back to bagging it. orders that happened that, you know, were before the sale. So she's getting, you know, the old labels. Same exact product. Just want to make sure all the, you know, the bags that she bought match. And then I'll do the Markets bags. We are done. I made, let's see, 22 bags of soil, which is a lot. Normally I make 6 for the markets and I'm like done. So 22 is a lot. I'm super excited for the new sizing. I think it's gonna go quite well. Now, all we need to do is organize these and I'm going to show you the new products that I didn't make in this video. First off is the fungus gnat treatment. Look how cute that is. I hope this is in right. This is adorable. The whole label situation, very last minute decision. I did take the design I had for the semi-hydroponics collection, but just made it a little bit lighter, a bit more foresty, and less like jewelry. Does that make sense? Because it was a really deep green. So we did that, and this is just basically these little bits that you sprinkle on top of the soil. They work so well. I've used them for years. And then I just bought them wholesale and put them in a cute little container for all y'all. So that's super exciting. So we're going to be doing that. We gotta find some place for them to go here. We're gonna move my sign. And then we're gonna organize all the labels. I have the unmarked spray bottle. Here's the marked spray bottles here. And then we have fertilizer bottles. Yeah, it's just a mess, so we're gonna organize that real quick. Let's take these bags down. I'm thinking I wanna put all the bottles in the same place. You make the labeled ones over here. Put all of these down here in their own little section. And then organize the dirt sections like I normally do, just so it's easy to grab off the shelf and take to the market. And then I might put the fungus gnat treatments here. Because there's not a whole lot of them, I just like a trial batch. Again, because it was like a last minute decision, but I love them, so we'll make bigger batches in the future. Just temporarily have them there. Dang, these are all we need to fill them, but we only have 4 filled, so I need to do that. Put the labels that are not open yet down here by the other ones. Right there. Fill that in a second. Okay, I feel a little bit better about that. We'll do like an official thing later. Last and final product that is going to be added. I'll go get it real quick. Or what's in this basket right here, and that is the microfiber towels. I just went for like a super simple design. I just had like my little logo, keeping these 2 microfiber towels together. They're just gonna be like in a basket because I have a sign that's gonna have like all the product stuff. So like I don't need to put anything on it, and I think it's pretty self-explanatory that they're towels. You know what? That's about it. I feel like I just rambled at the camera forever, but that's great. That's wonderful. Please go check out the launch. It is on the website. It is up now. If you're seeing this video, just go. And please like and subscribe and leave comments for anything you'd like to see more content on. So I hope you have a lovely day. Bye-bye.